where you have a SIG where you can't even see it in the goddamn character. I do not understand any free-to-play that's gonna look at a SIG and go, oh man, it's far outclasses everything. You're in the wrong place. You cannot complain about it and gotcha. You cannot, because this is the nature of where you are. It's like being at a gay bar and complaining that you're being hit on by gay dudes. Augusta has definitely got to be one of the characters that people have been looking forward to the most, alongside Iono. And there seems to be some form of issues, well rather fixes that the devs have tried to implement through Augusta that the fans seem to have some level of backlash. Now, this is a situation where it feels like the devs can't necessarily win because the complaint is about the performance of the signature in comparison to free-to-play type weapons, and also complaints about animations where you can't really see the signature as much as you would love to see it in a character like Augusta. In one hand, if you're free-to-play and you know your sword is an ugly ass blue sword that doesn't really match your character, this is a huge W. Now, if you have the SIG, this is a clear L. If you have the SIG, you are not rewarded enough for obtaining, or well, let's call it as paying for the weapon. Instead, like, you're better off not spending at all, and you could feel like some form of ripoff because you just didn't know the meta, quote unquote. If you're not prepared enough, if you're not looking at leaks and you got the shit day one, then you actually sit down and observe performance. Unfortunately, you may not be satisfied with what you're looking at in comparison to free-to-play options, which can cause you to feel like, well, you didn't get your money's worth, you didn't get your pulls worth, you didn't get your savings worth, and that could leave a poor taste in people's mouth, which is understandable. There's an easy fix to all of this. When it comes to damage, I think there has to be always a certain threshold. Obviously, the SIG needs to be at least 10% better than the next option. In my opinion, I think 10% is a fair round number that everybody can fall behind. And then of course you can change it here and there depending on the character, of course. Like, of course, some characters are going to be higher, some are going to be lower. Anyway, but at least I think the threshold has to be 10%. Because I think the comparison between the Gion weapon and Augusta is like, what, 8%? It's like under 10, which is crazy. Like, that's a little too low. That's a bit too low. And Gion's weapon is more universal. Augusta's is not. And apparently it has some cooldowns that make it kind of clunky to use the character within itself, which is weird. Like, it should not be the case at all. So I think that's obviously like some formula to always be respected when it comes to the weapons, because I feel like this went against what we always know from signature weapons and pretty much the gotchas that we know of, and did it wrong. I feel like we have to have a medium where both sides of the player base can actually be content with the middle ground Kuro finds within the formula on how they do the weapons in terms of damage and performance. Now, I also want to tackle the animation. The animation, in my opinion, has a quick, easy, simple fix. It gives the devs more work, but I feel like it can make everybody happy. The fix is very simple. Either you add more skins to weapons, okay, you can add more skins to them, or these animations that Augusta can do, that is like the blades of her fallen enemies are all surrounding her signature weapon. Simply, you can choose to either activate the animation on the weapon or not. As in, do you want the weapon to have those blade of enemies or not? You can choose to use the SIG, or you can choose to have the plot weapon. Let's call it the plot weapon. Like, there's a plot weapon, which is the one Augusta uses, and there's the gotcha weapon, like the one you're using for your Augusta. That's obviously not within the plot. So you can choose, we can have the option of either having the plot weapon, or you can choose to have the gotcha / SIG / whatever you want to call it. So I feel like that could be an easy, simple fix, whether you add more skins, one that can just match more, or like, for example, the plot weapon could be a skin within itself, or you can choose to have the different animations that people can activate on and off for this stuff. In my opinion, I think a skin makes the most sense. All right, it just makes the most sense for, call them plot weapons, and then you can have the signature weapon, which can look slightly better than the plot weapon. All right, if that makes any sense, so that people can always feel happy and content that they are using what the character they see is using in the story. Because it always feels good to use the weapon's aesthetic that you see in the story. It doesn't necessarily have to have the same effect, but at least it needs to have the same aesthetic. It's very important for players. That, for one, matters to me a lot. Look, the spirit of what they did is great. It should just be optional. Just make it optional. It's really that simple. I believe a simple skin where we get to choose whether to play with this or this is the best way forward. That was my thoughts, just looking into the situation and getting the surface level stuff. Well, also like let's not get into performance in Augusta, as in like the echo and nightmare echoes and stuff. That's a whole other conversation. Right now, I just want to keep it for the weapon only. So let's get into it. A lot of people have been going after my 5-star version, and I don't know how the hell are people mad at Big Bro over here. This is the Big Bro of the gacha community. Obviously, when Smack has to put his foot down real quick after uploading a video for only 4 hours, you know shit is going a little insane. So I really want to hear his thoughts on this. So let's watch this and see what Big Bro Smackarino have to say.
Basically only taking their own circumstance into consideration instead of looking at this from an objective standpoint and a business standpoint as a whole, as well as when you offer a premium product, it should come with a premium value.
Indeed, that's a fact.
Otherwise, people are just going to stop pulling on the weapons.
Indeed.
Now, that said, there's a lot of disagreement in this comment section. I'm not going to go over every single comment.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and like read them out, and then I'm going to explain to all these dipshits why they're wrong and I'm right.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I thought we were just going to get some clarifications or some shit. Okay, here we go. Apparently, there's going to be some beef, chat. Here we go. Here we go, boys. Here we go. There's gonna be some beef, chat, and we're ready to eat.
Well, let's go ahead and go down here and find a couple. Here goes one minute ago. I swear, Gotcha Smack must be bipolar in this video. He complains that the weapon costs more than a video game, and then he complains that it does not pay to win enough. How is it a problem? First of all, this makes zero sense because you just made yourself look retarded. You said I'm complaining that the weapon costs more than a whole video game. Yeah, true, I am, and I'm complaining that it's not pay to win enough. Duh. If it's going to cost more than a whole video game, it should be quite pay to win,
yeah,
bro. And I'll explain to you why that's completely fine. Anyways, how is it a problem that Gion's weapon is just as good option and the new set is only slightly upgrade over the 1.0 set? Does he want rampant power creep and wuwa similar to blank? So I'm not going to address every single comment. I just want to read over them just to proof of just how many dumb fucks are in the comment section. And then we'll get into like my whole entire thought process.
Okay, there's dumb fucks, but I feel like there's some that do make sense. Probably.
And why I'm literally objectively correct about this. How is it a problem that Gion's weapon is just as good option? First of all, what is the purpose of a signature weapon that costs $100 if it's just going to be similar in value to another signature weapon that, by the way, is more universal and it does the same damage? You might as well turn this signature weapon into a skin that costs.
It's right there, man. The writing's on the wall. The fix is simple. The fix is truly simple. I truly stand by what I said at the start of the video. I hope, let's see if there's any tweaks to be made to that.
$10 because that's now the value of the weapon. However, as we know in the gacha game, it's not $10. It's $100. And there's a
depending on how you did it, but yeah, it's like if you do it wrong and you don't play every day and you're very casual. The more, look, gacha in my opinion is simple in the sense of the more casual you are, the more you have to pay to keep up. Am I wrong, chat? What do you think of that? I think that was a beautiful take. I think that's a beautiful take. The more casual you are in a gacha, the more you have to pay in order to keep up with the roster.
A lot of people out there who are questioning why it's $100.
It should not be $100. At all. Like we all know the price tags in terms of weapons especially is fucking hilarious. It's a fucking joke. They should not cost that much, especially something like Augusta when I can only see it during an animation in an alt. Don't even get me started on fucking SSR. I think I finally got what one of the chatters was trying to say, where you have a fucking SIG where you can't even see it in the goddamn character. Like it's literally just numbers behind it as it's performing in the battle. Like it just doesn't see, you don't even see it. There's no aesthetic behind it. That is so bad. Like that, in my opinion, cannot be the same value as a character. But there's no 50-50 in the goddamn weapon banner. Relax, jump. The reason why there's no 50-50 in weapon banners is because most people are not going to want to pull there. They don't want to pull there in the first place. The fact that now we don't have a 50-50 can make people like myself go, well, you know what? I was willing to spend all these pulls on her anyway. Let me get the weapon while I'm at it. If it didn't have the 100%, that shit would not have went like that. Believe you me. And that's the thing. That's why it's made like that. But the reality is weapons should not even have the same amount of pity needed as the characters. Yes, people can say, well, it's just, I think that's like 60 in the weapon banner instead of like the 70 of the character. That's not enough. Like the pity for weapon should be half. I said it. There it is. It's out there. The weapon banner pity should be half. nerf the shit you need for a character, because you cannot look me in the eye directly and say that a SIG, a weapon, takes more time and effort in development than a goddamn character. They should be in no way, shape, or form close to their monetary value as they are right now. They should not, period. That's why Do It Not Abyss, before like changing from gacha, was like, you know what? You can just get the weapons for free. You can craft that shit. You can farm that shit. Because they know the true value ultimately in gacha for the majority of players is the characters. And the characters are the ones that deserve your money because that's where they actually put in the work. The weapons, not as much. Albeit, it's not like they didn't make any work to them, but it's nowhere comparable to how the character was made. I hope that makes some sense. Look at the Genshin weapon banner. That shit is horrible. That shit is horrible. No one, it's called a scam. Like, no one likes that shit at all. At all. So they are forced to make it 100%. But don't mistaken Kuro's 100% the weapon banner with, oh my god, this is amazing. Just because Genshin lowered the standards and the bar so low doesn't make it that Kuro's weapon banner all of a sudden is good. It's not. Like, weapons should not cost as much as they do. That's a fact. Anyway, let's keep it up. I'm rambling.
Simple. Now, the new set is only slightly upgraded over the 1.0 set. So pray tell, if I've already got a perfectly good operating set that is getting the exact same clear time or maybe a second or two slower, somewhere in the same ballpark. Maybe.
Okay, so now we're talking about the Echo. Okay, so I guess this is a good transition for me to weigh in on that. So I think, if I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, the new set, like the Nightmare set of Echoes, performs the same as the old set, the Thunder set. The new set is 10% better according to Pridwin. Well, that's not bad. Well, it does make it so that you don't necessarily have to farm it, because that's not much of an increase. It's kind of like it was for me with Fleur de Lis, Cartathea. There was like the Gust first set, and there was also a second set. I just kept the first set because apparently the difference in damage wasn't huge. So I just kept the first set because I had like amazing pieces. New set is slightly better, but Smack's old set has better substats. Yeah, there it is. Like, if you have better substats and you already have pre-existing leveled up Echoes, oh yeah, absolutely. But then again, a Smack cannot look at it and go that this is a bad thing. You can, because you have that. Someone like me does not have that. I do not have those Echoes. I don't. I gotta go farm that shit from scratch. Guess what? My ass is gonna be farming. I ain't farming that set. I'm farming the new set. Easy. It makes your rotation clunky for quick swap is so about equal. Oh, so it makes your rotation clunky for quick swap. So about equal. So okay. So because of the effect of the set, it's bad. Because of the effects of the set, it's not as good. Is that it? So in terms of performance, actually, it's not a matter of just slap some stats and call it a day. No, it's actually a matter of performance. So in terms of performance, they are the same. Is that it? So why does Pridwin say that it's 10% better if in terms of performance, they are the same? Interesting. Okay, so, you know what? For the sake of arguments, we're going to assume that it's just a 10% increase, which is fine, by the way, which is fine, considering how easy it is for you to obtain it. But the fact is, if you have older, better substats, well, good for you. I think that's a good way to go about it, by the way. I think it's a good way to go about it.
A second or two faster. Why on God's green earth would you put another set in the game that's going to do the same shit? What is the...
Well, because it's free. Because you don't have to use wave plates on that. And for people like me that didn't have the previous set, that's good for me. Because now I will use my wave plates on bosses as I farm Echoes. All right, it gives me a bit of a head start in terms of farming stuff for her. It's for a bunch of free-to-plays like myself. So I would call it like an easy gameplay in terms of wanting shit now. So now what happens is I'm using my wave plates on bosses, right? My daily stamina goes on bosses. Or for example, Echo XP if need be, but rarely. I have a lack of shell credit. I need shell credits. I need the boss mats, and I need the dungeon mats, like, the weapons and the talents. Right, I gotta upgrade those, and it's taking some time now. So this new set, because of the new model and how you farm it, it allows someone like me to multitask. I can now keep grinding shell credits and all that good stuff as I farm Echoes. It's for players like it's for broke ass players like myself.
There is no meaningful reason for that new set to be in the game.
There is.
You can just keep the old set. Even as a newer player, you could just farm the old set.
I think this is an oversight from Smack. Absolutely. I think he didn't see it. I think he views things from his perspective and how his account is structured, but some other players have it different. And like my ass, I have it different. And I'm grateful for this new set, to be honest with you. That's good for me, mate. Because I get to double farm. I'm multitasking. It's great. It feels better. I feel like I'm advancing quicker in obtaining my Augusta, in making her full power. which is gonna take some time. But I mean, hey, shit, I can't just throw all my wave plates there. I'm just saying.
No legitimate reason. It's just slop content at that point. It's a waste of fucking space is what it is. So with that said, clown number one out of the way. Let's continue.
Okay, I'm with him in the form of clown, but like all in all, in terms of the echo and it being in the game, I disagree with him completely.
Continue. I'm not going to do the rebuttal to every single comment. It'll take the video too long. Okay, y'all guys are never happy. I don't know how I got roped in with whoever the hell he's roping me in with. Make up your mind. Do we want a Frolova type of weapon or do we want an Augusta type of weapon? I never once said anything about Frolova's weapon.
I've seen people in the comment section talk about Frolova. I'm like, what the fuck? Who? Huh? Don't forget, he is saying things in terms of spread cheating. Clearly something that I feel like most of us in chat aren't well educated enough in the realm of spread cheating for us to like really look into, because there could be some angle. Obviously, I'm not going to see because I'm not too knowledgeable in how efficiency goes, rotations, most importantly. That's some spread cheating shit that I, for one, can't do. Okay, I just do, okay, what's a normal rotation? That's the way to do it. Okay, great. That's it. Like, I'm not going to sweat too hard or try to calculate things and compare and all that. I'm not going to do that.
You get people who will basically read a bunch of different like perspectives.
Yeah.
Right? And so they'll be like, oh, this guy's complaining about this, guy's complaining about this. And then when somebody else comes along and says, wait, this sucks, they just automatically take everybody else's complaint and make you the singular target of that complaint. And so you are accused of things you've never said.
Well, it's because you're a public figure as a CC. That's why.
It's just like, I don't know what it is. It's a chronically online trait. They just can't differentiate that different people have different takes. I don't know. I'm sorry, Smack, but a lot of those points sound good for free to play and low spenders. Even as someone that gets every character and weapon, there's a bit of value there if you care enough. Also, the point on the set is okay with me because it makes some people have to grind for every new set.
Oh, there we go.
Just use an older set and get almost the same value out of the character with something you've been grinding for a while, especially because the way the new sets are, you don't get tuners or tubes from the fields. So it seems like he agrees with me on that part. But the first part, he's saying it sounds good for free to play and low spenders. So here's the thing. Free to play and low spenders don't have a problem in Wuthering Waves because Wuthering Waves power creep isn't problematic. It never has been problematic. And this is where I'm going to get into it. You can go through this freaking comment section and you can you'll just see it's a lot of morons who just don't know how to have good argumentation. Now let's go ahead and talk about the core root of the problem. First of all, anybody making an argument about free to play and low spenders having a problem with signature weapons in Wuthering Waves, you're a literal fucking retard. And let me explain why. The baseline difficulty of Wuthering Waves can always be cleared with free to play resources.
Absolutely. And every gacha typically respects that, except maybe HSR to my knowledge. Typically, yeah, pretty much.
You quite literally never have to spend on a singular signature weapon in this game due to its high skill expression and high skill ceiling. You can always clear all contents in the game. It's been that way since day one. There is no reason for you to pull on a signature weapon unless you want to. Okay? If you want to be greedy and stupid, you can do it. Right? But there's actually no legitimate reason.
Rosa said if you want to be greedy and stupid.
Power creep was a problem in HSR because the baseline would raise with the new strengths of the SIGs and the newer characters coming out.
There it is. He brought it up himself too. Yeah, I think the only issue with power creep is definitely something like HSR, but I feel like in terms of Wuthering Waves, dude, I did Tower of Adversity yesterday. Actually, I've did Tower of Adversity yesterday, and this is coming from someone who I believe I've cleared Tower of Adversity twice in my entire lifetime, like fully completed, like 36 stars or whatever that is. As you can see here, I have 30-30. All right, I have 30-30. As someone who never, I think I cleared it once when Carthathea came out. That was my first ever 30-30. I think also the second time when Carthathea, as soon as I had Carthathea, I managed to be dude 30. I think the third time I couldn't for some reason. I don't know. I was just not feeling the best. Yesterday, I violated. I used Frolova and Lupa with Chang Li and Branch. I just violated, bro. Whimpering Wastes as well. I'm waiting to do the new Whimpering Wastes. I want to level up Augusta to do it. Or maybe I'll wait for Iono to do it with her because Iono is going to be the best character for Augusta. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is there's no real problem with power creep. And this is coming from someone who's not even that skilled in the game. Like I'm just average, McAverage with a side of average. That's what I am in the game. And I'm still managed to clear content because there's no power creep problem at all. If you have a basic understanding, you can do it. Especially if you have a big roster that can take advantage of the buffs.
Point where your account would eventually become obsolete and ass.
Yep.
That made signature weapons a necessity. It made pulling on newer characters a necessity.
There it is.
As you can see in Wuthering Waves, we're using fucking Mortefi, who came out in 1.0. We're still using Shorekeeper as the universal synergist. We're still using Verena. There is no power creep problem in
There isn't.
wuwa. There just
Absolutely not.
There's
If there's no power creep, if we're not going to complain about it, then they have to take measures for that to not be a problem. And maybe those restrictions for Augusta could be what they are doing to avoid power creep becoming a problem.
never been a power creep problem. And so we're at the point now where free to play players are not mad because the weapon is signature is substantially stronger and it is power creep. They're mad because they're insecure and they're projecting that their account and their wallet can't afford the signature weapon. You see?
True. I do not understand why someone would get mad at the SIG outclasses, like far outclasses, like 10 to 20% more performance enhancement for your character because of the SIG. Like, you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong place, buddy. You're in the wrong place. It's like you have a burger and someone have like a kick-ass sandwich and they have a bigger sandwich. Like, of course, they paid more money, meaning they're going to get a bigger, healthier sandwich. Because you cannot spend a lot of money or you spend no money at all, you're going to take what you can get. Beggars can't be choosers. That's it. Like, I do not understand any free-to-play that's going to look at a SIG and go, oh man, it's far outclasses everything. No, no. That you're in the wrong place. You cannot complain about it and gotcha. You cannot, because this is the nature of where you are. It's like being at a gay bar and complaining that you're being hit on by gay dudes.
There's a massive difference here. And these people are so narcissistic to the point where they don't want you to have nice things that you spent a lot of money on because that makes them feel insecure about themselves and their own account. It's loser mentality. Get out the damn room, go touch some grass, go get a job and better your life, and you won't care about these things.
That beautifully well said. Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's a single player video game.
Indeed.
The only reason
most importantly, a video game. Like that. Before it's even single player, a fucking video game. You're hating. We have hating over a video game because someone gets a weapon. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. That's right. It's not because you're getting your money up. They're not hating on you because you're working on your physique. You're getting your money up. You're having success in your romantic life. Whatever. Typically the things you will hear people hating about, or because you got Riz, you got aura, whatever it is. Not the classic stuff you see people hating on other people for. No. Oh, they're hating on your ass because you got the weapon. Oh yeah. You gotta understand that whenever I say, oh my God, I hate you so much right now, or like, I'm so jealous, I'm typically sarcastic. Typically, I don't give a flying fuck. I don't give a flying fuck. And I know. Now, a lot of people might hate me for this. I know this, but I know that some of you guys love to flex your gotcha stuff because you know that someone out there like these guys that Smack just referenced are gonna feel like that. You know it. You know you're throwing fire on their soul. You know they're burning with envy because of what you got in this gotcha game. So your aura farm, you get your dose of validation off idiots. Literally off idiots. I know some of you guys do that. I'm guilty of that shit my damn self. It's very hard not to flex in gotcha because a lot of people like to flex in gotcha. It's fine. I don't think there's any problem with it. But when we transform it to hatred, and we transform it to, we have a problem with how the system is, and we're trying to make people that sacrifice a part of themselves to actually get something so that they can enjoy the game more, and we're gonna hate on them, and we're gonna take that away from them. I feel like we have a problem.
If you can clear all content in the game, not just by a fucking hair, not just by a hair's breadth, but like comfortably with 30 seconds remaining on the clock in Tower of Adversity, whimpering waist, knocking it out, no problem.
Yep.
Hologram.
That's what I did.
You can clear them hoes with one character.
That's me.
Hell, people go in the tower with 2 characters. There is no legitimate reason for you morons to be mad about signature weapon power creep. Because here's the funny thing. I guarantee you these same people are kudo bots that defend the billion-dollar company. And now they're mad that people are trying to give money to this company that they defend so fucking like psychotically well.
This is why you will always see me in gotcha. It's because of social dynamics that like this that are just so eyebrow raising. I'm like, this is interesting. So what's the psychology behind this shit? How the fuck does that work?
If they don't improve the signature weapon value, then people are going to stop pulling and spending on the signature weapons. Why?
Yep, power matters a lot to players. Don't let nobody lie to you about that. Look, there's a checkbox that needs to be respected for players to want to pull for your shit. Aesthetic, lore/emotional attachment to the thing. And finally, performance. That's basically the most important thing. If you take away power and performance, watch your shit drain.
The fuck would I pull on a premium priced weapon that doesn't have premium value? It's the same value as other SIGs.
If anybody's gonna make the argument, well, it's for the looks, then make it a skin and make it cheaper because it's $100.
It's aesthetic, which by the way, there's comments in here quite literally mad that I said it should offer more of an aesthetic value. I even put in my pinned comment, I'll take aesthetic power creep over actual DPS power creep.
Ah, there we go. So that's what he was trying to say. Yeah, there we go. I agree with him. Absolutely.
It's like at this point, you are now arguing that this business should not be operated the way a business should be operated. Hey guys.
Well, besides that, I feel like we are reaching the boiling point of you cannot win. Whether it's left or right, you're always going to have people mad in a certain spot. So at some point, you kind of have to you shrug them off and you just do what you do, man. Like that's it. You cannot take those people at face value because even they don't know what the fuck they want. And they project the fact that they don't know what the fuck they want on others as well, that they're trying to paint Smack as someone that doesn't know what the fuck he wants. That's clearly not the case.
The premium weapon, it's going to give you comfort and efficacy activation for its ability. It's going to give you some damage increase, and it's going to give you some aesthetic pleasing visuals that aren't mid but high quality. But it's going to cost $100 upwards.
That's a lot of money, by the way.
Complain about a completely reasonable, not necessity, but want for people who are willing to pay for that product. Now, my video is me complaining about a product I already paid for. I'm with it. It is what it is. I have that right to complain about a product.
Absolutely.
Say this product doesn't really match the value I spent on it.
Yep.
It is what it is, but I would like for you guys to provide more of a value for the price that you're charging.
Absolutely.
See, this is like unrefutable argumentation. There's no good reason for you goofy ass niggas to be mad at this. And once again, I want to provide tangible evidence of the retardation going on in the comment section. This particular part is where things are going to go ugly from the community. I don't give a fuck about things going ugly from the community. You niggas aren't that intelligent.
Well, that's a big generalization. Let's calm down. It's not pull a Jenna's ad over here. Okay, let's chill out. Not everybody's like that. Excuse you, sir. The hell? Calm down.
Add a little bit more to the signature to give more value to it. Because if every single weapon gets access to this, that diminishes the value of the signature. The only thing the signature does is, like I said, when you're in her ultimate state. Okay, here we go.
You can see it.
Here we go. So when you're in her ultimate state, this is the value you get, right? This is what I'm literally arguing that a signature weapon should have more aesthetic.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. It's like I said at the start, have a plot weapon skin and keep the signature if I so choose want to. If I want to see it, keep it like that. Like aesthetic is very important. That's just too expensive for you to just take away the aesthetic as well. Especially it's a good looking weapon. It's a good looking weapon.
Guy who dropped a hundo. And these motherfuckers are like, the community's not going to like that.
Not gonna like that.
Not because that is power creep, because it's visual and it matches the price of the product. It's like, bro, this is how you know how delusional, how unbelievably cooked people in the gacha community are. It's unreal.
I think where people are generalizing a lot of the minority, that's this loud minority. Am I nuts, chat? For me personally, my perspective, I don't see these guys a lot. And even when I do, I'm like, oh, it's one of those guys. And I keep it moving. But I feel like they're few and far between. Or I could be wrong. Or maybe I just don't hang out where they usually are, which is comment sections. I feel like it's limited to just certain areas. It's like a city. Like seriously, I feel like the gacha community is like a city. There's some streets and some hoods you don't want to hang out on. They're dangerous. They're dangerous. Like they're pretty dangerous. I think it's that simple, man. I feel like this type of generalization, I don't know, man. It's starting to rub me the wrong way because I'm like, clearly it's not the case. Like it's clearly not the case. I'm looking at people around the community. I'm like, why the fuck are those bad apples giving us such a bad name? Like, why are we shooting ourselves in the foot? Because literally you are making content for gacha players. Like, again, not everybody's a bunch of goofy ass ninjas. Like, it's not the case. I don't know. Maybe it's just the wording. Maybe I'm being a bitch over the wording. Maybe I'm just being a bitch about it.
Uncanny. They don't understand like common sense, fundamental business ethics. Yeah. All they think is my scenario, I don't have it, so nobody else should be able to have it either. And once again, boys, it's a single player game. It's not even PvP.
I know.
And they're mad about power creep. Once again, in a game whose
baseline
isn't a problem, right? Once the baseline becomes a problem, power creep becomes a problem. But until then, you are literally projecting an insecure that another man's count spent money on is better than yours.
Yep, there it is, man. I think I stand by my solution. I think that would easily fix the problem. That would be a huge, huge devs listened moment. And yeah, you know what we're gonna call this video? We're gonna call it how to fix the weapon banner scam. Yeah, you know what it's gonna call it that. How to fix the weapon banner scam in Wuthering Waves. There, that should be decent. So what do you think? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. I feel like this is a important discussion to have, in my opinion. In the end of the day, we should always have value to the things we put effort and, more importantly, money into, especially when it comes to these gacha games and micropay. So easy fixes, just increase the baseline. I feel like maybe a weapon revision here could be good. So if they fix that, that would be awesome. And maybe also always respect a certain threshold, okay? And you don't have to pander to free-to-plays that much, because the reality is, as things are right now, they don't necessarily have a product like wuwa for now. This could change in the future and you adapt accordingly. That's kind of the point of a live service game. But as it is right now, there's no real need to pander to, like he said, insecure individuals that are projecting their insecurities onto others and ruining the fun for, I know, somewhat of a minority in the player base, but still the most profitable minority for the company. So in my opinion, that should not be the case. I feel like we should just simply have the plot skin and plot animations, whatever you want to do, for free-to-plays. And if someone has the SIG, they have the right to disable that and play with the SIG and what they paid for. More options equal more satisfaction and hitting a wider audience, because you have the ability to satisfy more and more players due to them having the ability to optimize for themselves due to their own preference. Just make sure the power creep remains visual, and the best way to do that is to giving us options to fully optimize our experience, and to have tools to enable us to do so. So please, devs, if you would listen, we'd really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you on the next one. See ya.